I'm going to our annual sales meeting,
Okay.
and apparently some people they'd love to visit with their colleagues, but they really want to watch the national championship football game. I'm like, okay, buds, whatever.
Yeah, I mean
Knock
it's
yourself
kind of
out.
ironic that here I technically am a sports coach. I teach fencing,
No, yeah, that's a
but
good point.
I do not follow any sports, nor do I even follow fencing. You know, people will
Oh,
say, "Did you see such and such?" I'm like, "Oh,
no,
really? Okay." Yeah, I really have no interest in watching
couldn't
other
care
people do
less.
the activity kind of stuff. So it is what
It's
it
funny.
is. Yeah, and so that's why it's ironic. People that know me from high school are like,
Yeah,
we never saw you doing this, Eric. You know, I'm like, well, technically, I'm teaching strategy and tactics. So being the
there you
president of the
go.
war game club, you know, this
That's
is the
enough.
natural expansion. This is where it all ends. So
Yeah. Well,
They didn't have a war games club back when I was in there. We did have a
uh,
chess club. I was president of that, but
yeah, well, there was a chess club, and we had a war game club, and I think
very nice.
there was even a Dungeons and Dragons club.
Well
So
done.
yeah. So I was involved in all three of those, and I was a drum major in the marching band in my senior year.
Holy
So
smokes,
oh
look at
yeah,
you.
oh yeah. I mean, I've got all the geek credentials,
Yes, you
nerd
do.
credentials, whatever.
We're all very impressed down
Yeah.
here.
yeah, I was. Yeah, got some of those same ones actually.
Yep.
Actually, I was a flute player in the marching band.
Oh,
Flute
a
player.
flute player, no less. My goodness.
You
So
know,
I was.
our marching band had a very interesting approach that the woodwind players, so flutes, clarinets, everybody,
Right.
did not play in marching band. They just marched
Interesting.
because the band director is like, okay, I I got all these trombone players, all these trumpet players, all these tuba players. No one's going to hear a flute.
Yeah,
No one's going to
actually,
hear a clarinet. But if I don't demand that you actually figure out how to play the tune, I can demand that you march a more complicated routine.
Aha.
And so that's what we did. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how universal that was in the world of marching bands, but absolutely. Our clarinet players stood there with clarinets. They didn't even put reeds on them. It was just like, who cares? I'm not playing. I
the
don't know.
and actually for the marching band part of the season, they actually had me playing a baritone.
Oh, okay. But were you actually playing it?
Yeah, I was actually playing that.
Oh, well, that's pretty impressive for a guy who plays a flute in the off
Yeah,
season. That's quite a change.
yeah.
That's
But yeah,
funny. Only a
then I
couple
was
of octaves.
president of the science club and the chess club, and the
Oh my goodness.
I had all those. Also had the geek credentials.
There you go.
Mm.
There you go. I knew there was a reason I liked you, David.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
we're all birds of a feather, whether we like it or not.
All
Oh
right. Well,
goodness. All right.
I've got us up on Vassal.
Uh-oh.
And the live stream have started, and William from beautiful Kitchener, Ontario sends his
I
greetings.
know, right?
He is one of our regulars here. Hello, William. And
Greetings.
he's saying, experiencing a complete January thaw. No snow and no ice.
Oh, now that's weird.
That is weird. I understood that out on the East Coast they were having a lot of warm weather. So, or in some places, some unseasonably warm weather. So,
Hmm.
not
Well,
sure what
that
that's all about.
Well,
big
it's probably
bomb
just
cyclone came through
oh,
and froze everything, and then behind it became all this warm weather.
that was my thought. This is the return to regression to the mean, I think they call that. After we've had a really nasty cold snap of being 10 degrees in December, 10 degrees Fahrenheit for you Canadians.
There you go.
Um, so yeah, it's actually been pretty pleasant here for the last week or so.
Yeah.
All right.
Michael,
Well,
a quick question for you
yes, sir.
on that CLS. when I go to their view inventory, it takes me to Board Game Geek Market.
Yes, whenever I have bought from them, it's been through Board Game Geek.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know why they choose to use that system, but I mean, sure, whatever. David and I were talking about a game I purchased from a company called CLS Games, which is a retailer in Atlanta. And yes, I buy them through the Board Game Geek market. I guess it's maybe less hassle for them than have their own website. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, that is exactly what I would expect.
Okay. That was confusing to me for a little bit. And Eric, I I missed your video, and I just played it earlier tonight on Vochamps there, and I think, oh man, I would have liked to gotten a copy of that. And it looks like that special is not available anymore. So
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, you'll probably they there's probably some games floating around on the aftermarket out there, so I would probably give it a little bit of time, and you should be able to find one, um, kind of a thing. But yeah, what they had was, I guess they had, odds and ends components left over. They didn't have the magazine anymore, but they had a bunch of counters and the maps. And so they're like, okay, well, we can bundle this up and put the magazine and the rules and the charts or whatever else on a disc, and then
yeah,
just send it out to everybody. So if people ordered, a certain amount of money or a certain amount of, stuff from the magazine against the odds magazine, this would be then a bonus gift for you, kind of a thing. So yeah, it's not a bad little game. I played it a few times. I'm going to be doing a video on another game that I got on, I think it was on Facebook, Consim. There's a Consim marketplace on Facebook, and I picked up this really fun game. Robert and I played it. He came up last week, and we spent the afternoon, and it was a real fun it's a card-driven game, from, it's called, I think, Glory, Victory, something like that. But you basically play the entire Napoleonic War, and it says all these basically cards. Somebody's the British player, and somebody's the French player, and really, really fun game. We had a good time with it. So,
yeah, good.
yeah. It
All
looks
right.
like we've got Mark from beautiful Lodi, California, joining us. Hello, Mark. Good to see your happy, smiling, digital identification.
I was wondering how you were going to end that.
Yeah, well, I got to figure it out.
I guess we should get started.
All right,
get
6:40 campers.
Yeah,
6:40.
6:40. Time is running out. Time
Yeah,
is running
it
out
is.
for us to crush these Americans.
Well, the trouble is they gave me too much map to run away.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
well, and you're doing your best with it.
Thank you. I'm I'm here to please.
All right, well, Michael, why don't you go ahead and throw the dice first?
I will chuck some dice. Here we go.
Hey,
And
we got a special result right off the bat.
inevitably a special result because I'm rolling. Which means, by the way, I need to go find all those papers which are sitting on my desk. I'll be right back.
And actually, I think this is the same special result that we started off last week with.
Could be, yeah. Free, disorder, recovery, or rally. Well, I don't know that we've got anything that needs to recover or rally, do we?
Not that I'm aware
I'm
of.
sure he would have preferred that. That would have been one that he might have liked, but I don't think we've got anything that needs to rally.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Free
yeah.
rally.
I'd much have preferred if you rolled a 4-0.
Well,
then I could have blasted you, gotten some revenge.
oh. No, sir. That's not how this is going to play. Well, I'm terribly sorry to have disappointed you. Is there nothing that you guys need to do anything with?
I don't think so. I don't think I've got anything that's disordered
Yeah, probably not.
or nothing. I mean, I got stuff that's been shot to pieces, but
Excellent.
yeah. But other than that, so roll a
Here.
4-0 now, Michael.
All right, we'll do what we can. Here we go.
Oh, close.
That's not a 4-0. That is an American activation, though, isn't it?
It is.
Take that, I tell you. Take that. All right, now I'm in that inevitable problem of trying to figure out what it is I want to do. I'm also desperately trying to sort out all my charts here. Okay, let's take a look. He needs to do something quickly. Well, speaking of blasting people, maybe I should do something down here where I can blast people.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
if I'd gotten the activation, that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, I mean,
shoot
there's
before somebody else shoots you.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could just activate Maxwell and let's just see where that goes. So Maxwell, of course, is down here, and he's got 2 units of skirmishers. Nobody's disordered because they're skirmishers, so they can't be disordered. Fire combat, they could probably just concentrate on smashing up those Hessians even more.
Yep. Fewer crops to pay.
You know, I'm glad you're taking the positive view of this. That's really inspiring.
It's only digital cardboard dies.
That's it. That's it. So we got 5 increments in this hex. We got 6 in that one. I think they're all firing at ×5, aren't they? Because they're light infantry.
Yeah, and they're at
1 hex range,
Yeah.
of course, right? So what is that? That's 55.
Yep.
Okay, 55 to 20. What's that going to be? Is there a 2.5 to
There should be a
1?
2.5 to 1. And I think I've only got, what, 5 increments left there now?
Yeah, so you're definitely going to get a -5 for size there. So that's totally understandable. But you know what? It's just like, if I have a chance to just smash somebody up to where he's half dead, then that makes him less useful for you going forward. So I'm going to go ahead and go for it. So
Sure.
2.5 to 1 -5. Not a very good roll.
So it's going to be a 54.
Right.
Well, that's still something dead, it looks like, right? This is fire
Yeah, it's gonna-
combat.
Yeah, it's going to be fire combat, so it's going to be 1 increment loss, but because it was a 59 raw roll, there is no morale check, so it's just 1 increment.
Okay. Merely 1.
I know, scarcely, but 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's fire combat, and of course he's now well more than half dead, which is lovely. Says I, and I'm trying to decide what I feel like doing now. I could move. Obviously, I'm going to take a lot of op fire if I do move, so I'm trying to figure out if it makes any sense to do that, or if I just make you shoot at me and I run away eventually. Screw it, I'll just stay there. All right, so I think that's going to be it. We're going to make you chase us off. So that's our cunning plan. So that's it. There's 1 activation done. Next. Who's up for die rolling?
Oh, I guess I'll throw the dice. Here we go. A 90.
Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go.
Back to the charts.
Battle tempo. So you can, well, of course, in this case, you literally can't move the end turn marker up 1 space, but you could elect to move it down 1 space if you're so inclined.
I don't think that would be a good thing for us to do.
Actually, it's an interesting question. Because since you have the initiative advantage, it is a bit of a gamble, to be fair. But since you have the initiative advantage, all things held equal, the end turn track moving along a little bit isn't a problem. On the other hand, you're on the offense, so it is a problem. So I would certainly understand you taking either approach.
Yeah, or we could opt to not do anything, right?
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think you're required to take it.
So we can opt not to. So I guess we got to roll again.
Yeah.
Here we go. 81. So
That's a wing. See, this is why
a
you should have
wing.
advanced the end turn marker.
it's a wing.
Because if you turn around and get a wing activation, then all of a sudden you're going to have the problem you've had in a lot of these, where the only reason I get to activate at all is because you've run out of activations or out of formations to activate. Nevertheless,
All right. Commander Howe, Army Commander Howe, what do you want to do? Do you want to activate your wing or my wing? Can't hear you, David.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Probably it's more optimal to activate yours.
Okay. I will take it then. So.
excuse me, gents. There's apparently a cat fight I need to go deal with. One moment, please.
No worries. Let's see. As far as people out of command, I don't think I've got anybody currently out of command. Everybody is in command.
Yeah.
David, I've got a question. Can I move this skirmisher here?
I believe so.
Okay, so he would take, I guess, opportunity fire, but
Right.
there's not like a zone of influence where he's got to stop, kind of a thing.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Where was I before I was so rudely interrupted?
All right, so I need to do shooting first, correct?
Yeah, if you've got any
Yeah,
disorder
okay.
recovery out of the way, then it is time for shooting.
Okay.
Tex?
Disorder first. Yeah. Do we have any?
I don't know. I don't see a disorder marker on top of anybody.
Do we, have we established, do we have this knucklehead in command yet?
Well,
Yep.
here's his commander. So he's 1, 2, 3 hexes away. So yeah, he's in command.
Oh, since it's a wing command, you have the luxury of doing both. Well, do you though?
I don't know. You tell me.
No, I don't think so. Again, confusing command setup here. Because you can either activate 1st Brigade separately, or you can activate 1st and 2nd together with Grant.
Right.
If you activate 1st and 2nd together, then this guy isn't doing anything,
Right.
meaning he doesn't help him. If you
Ah,
activate 1st and 2nd separately, then this guy's out of command.
right. Okay.
It's a bit awkward the way that it's structured and the way that they're scattered all over the place in a very unhelpful way.
Well, I will activate it all together. So therefore, Grant.
He's
can
out of
keep
command.
everybody in. Yeah, he's out of command, and
All right.
no one
That's
really
fine.
cares. He's been.
Everybody else is okay.
He
He'll
will-
eventually make it to the battle.
He will show up in
around
Philadelphia
sunset.
here in a month.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and do our shooting then.
The party really wants to get to.
Yeah. Well, we've got to do something. So we've got these guys, and these guys can all fire on that chap there.
Quel dommage.
So I've got 7 increments of my light infantry. Those
Right.
are the
Queen's
So they're
Rangers.
times 4, so that's going to be 28.
28. All right.
And then I've got 2 increments of the regimental artillery, or 2 increments, so that's going to be another 8. So that's going to be
36. 30, 36.
Oh, no, yeah, 36. Yep. And then I've got, I think I can throw in a few of these guys since they're in line, correct?
Yeah, actually, I was just trying to figure that out. It's somewhere on the fire chart.
I think I can have.
I think 6 increments can fire out of the hex. So if 2 of them are regimental guns, then 4 more can fire from the infantry.
So those guys, I guess, are
times 4 because they'd be foot. Yeah.
So that's going to be another 16. So that's
so
going
36
to be
and 16 is 52.
52.
52. Yeah.
20. So that's going to be 2.5 to 1.
2.5. Yeah. 2.5. Yeah.
Minus something since you're in skirmish, right?
Minus 10 for being in skirmish. Yep, that's right. Yeah. So let's see what you get.
And see what we get.
See what you get. All right.
Becomes a 55.
55 is going to be a single hit, and it's an odd number, so there's no morale check. So eventually, you brought the guys low, and now they're down to 5 increments.
All right. Now we've
deeply
got
annoyed.
These guys and these guys will fire here. So
okay,
I've got 8 and another 16. That's going to be 24 in this hex, and then there's only the regimental guns aren't unlimbered here, so that will just be another 12. So that's going to get us 36. So we're going to have them 36 to
1.5 then. So 1.5 minus 10. Yep. All right.
And that's going to
that ain't going to work.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're too busy shucking and jiving. You never saw us.
Yeah. Well, it's par for the course.
Yeah.
All right. So now time to move stuff.
You do actually have some guns that could fire.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm so used to firing at the end of movement from La Bataille. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to move this stuff and unlimber it and fire at you. I'm like,
we're going to break you of these evil habits, sir.
Exactly. All right. Well, then.
1, 2, 3 hex range, right?
This can fire. Who's a big target? Well, none of them are really.
None of them big enough.
Yeah, we'll fire on this one, on Humpton. So 4 increments at 3 hexes should be times 5.
So 1 to 1.
20, just a 1-to-1 shot. No pluses, no minuses.
There might be a minus 5 for size. I think he's just small enough.
So.
I think really, unless you had a plus, I don't know, 60.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yes, we've got a certain young French Corsican who's doing a little bit of artillery work over here.
Doing his internship.
Yep, his internship. All right.
Okay.
So there's
all right.
That. So now, and I guess these guys could fire.
I guess they could.
But
are they Fergusons?
They are Fergusons.
Oh, they are Fergusons. Yep. Oh, wow. So they're times 5 at 2 hex range, so they could fire 10. At 1 to 2, but 1 to 2 minus 5. So I don't know. You're gonna have to roll really well, but yeah.
Not good enough.
No, not good enough. Okay. All right, fine.
All right.
We can go anywhere in the world, be treated like dirt. We don't have to take it from you.
Yep. All right. So
now movement.
Yeah, now time for movement. So these guys here, I wanted to move them there. Can they do that? Is there some sort of ZOI that prevents them from moving?
You know, I can't think of a reason why you couldn't make that move.
Okay.
David, you're...
No, it's...
Okay.
You can leave a zone of control. Right?
Now you can take a shot at me, I guess, right?
Actually, I can, yes. That's a very good point. So that'll be 5 times 5.
So it's a 1-to-1 with
25, so it'd be 1-to-1 with a minus 10. So it's going to take an act of Congress to make it work, but, you know, whatever.
Oh, that's not a bad roll.
It's pretty good shot, though. Minus 10, 78 is the actual number. So actually, that is enough for a hit.
There you go. And a morale check from the looks of it, right?
Ordinary, yeah, and a morale check. So because that was...
Fire.
Because it was opportunity fire, it's 1 DM, but because they're skirmish units, disorder isn't relevant. So really, it's just 1 and M, and yeah, because it was an even number, it really is a morale check required. So first take the increment.
Yep, did that.
All right, very good. And then no disorder check required, but a morale check required. And it's morale check type A, I think, because I think that's the fire combat morale check type.
Okay, here we go. 68. They're happy.
Not really anything to worry about there. All right, well, we got our pound of flesh. That's got to be worth something.
There is. It's always.
All righty.
Nice. Okay.
What else you got?
Let's see. I want to prolong this gun here.
Which one?
That one there that's unlimbered.
Yep, you can do that. I don't think you can prolong across the stream.
Nope, but I just want to get close
Right.
enough to really blow the stuffing out of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And of course, I mean, I don't know if you're moving the rest of the guys forward with the guns or not, but you're not required to.
Oh yeah, I guess I could, couldn't I?
It's up to you.
Yeah. Okay. I will go ahead and do that. Well, let's see, what else have I got? Those guys are going to go that way.
Let's see.
This guy is actually going to turn, and he's going to move here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to put you in a bind there. And these guys are going to go up. Right, and then the guns.
Okay, now I got a couple things here.
Uh-oh, I'm worried now.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's the matter?
You would have got a shot at his guns prolonging forward from your skirmishers because they left this hex to there, and their range is 2 on your skirmishers firing.
Oh, that's right.
You're not wrong. There's a fair point, especially because that hex was empty at the time. So yes, I would have had clear line of sight there. So what is that? That is 5 times
It's going to be
2?
10.
10. So
10
it's
to 20.
1 to 2. Trying to remember. I think there'd be no size effect because they're 4 times. So they'd be as if they were a 16 size target. So I think it's just going to be 1 to 2 straight up.
Okay.
That's not going to be enough. Okay, so duly noted. Thank you.
All right. Then I guess when these guys move here, you would get a shot at them.
Yeah.
Actually, you would have got a shot at them as they're changing facing,
Oh, okay.
and when they move.
Okay.
Because suddenly, when you move, my muskets become MG42s.
Well, okay. So what? He was here, right?
No, he was here.
No, he was
He changed
these guys
facing
were here.
and then moved here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he changed facing, he was eligible for op fire.
Yeah.
And when he
When
moved
who
here, he was eligible for op fire. Both would be 2 hex range. They'd both be 1 to 2. In this case, the target's large enough that, again, there's nothing. So
now
I'm going to need a 90 or better to make it work.
Which one did he move first?
He moved the guns out first.
Right, and we got a shot there.
Yep.
And then he moved, changed facing here, and then moved, and so that's yet a third. So here we go. Boom, boom. Shockingly, he didn't roll over a 90 any one of those times. So all good. Frankly, probably our barrels are overheating at this point. All right, so that guy has moved. He spent a half a movement point to get there. He's now spent 1.5 to change facing.
Yes. So
Okay.
What guy? This guy?
This guy here.
yeah. And so then if I move
No, he
here
was in
and
that.
unlimber them. No, these guys were here. They moved forward.
Oh,
Yep,
Well,
they
what
moved
happened to the-
forward.
now there was infantry in that square though.
Right. They were the
Already?
ones that turned and moved here. Ah.
Oh,
Sorry.
Somebody's. There we go.
That was probably me.
Right. So now what I want to do is I want to advance these guns that are here into this, and then unlimber them.
Okay. All right. So
So I
for the
should have-
guns, actually, the guns have already spent 2 movement points. They will spend 3 to move into the hex, and then 5 to be unlimbered.
Oh, okay.
So they will actually have to rapid march. I guess the only other thing that Niephausen is a detachment, so you don't have to roll to see if you're in command. You were in command, so you are eligible to do a rapid march,
Right.
but you will have to roll for disorder
Okay. So
once they get in position.
okay. So those
Well-
guns.
Hey, hold on. Well,
What's up?
I'm trying to. Why? You're going. Where are you going with those?
I'm making a big battery right here.
Yes.
Because your other. Do the artillery have anything going across that little one? They just do a disorder check like the other. Yes. The other point would be is if you had just gone straight ahead and brought those batteries to there, you wouldn't have to force march, but you still would have to do a disorder check for going over the little creek. So.
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
6 and 1 half dozen the other, I guess.
So it doesn't cost any extra to go over the creek?
No, it just adds a requirement for a disorder check.
Okay. All right. So
They need to face a vertex.
Yeah. There we go. All
Okay.
right. So then so that's it with their movement. So now I'd make the check for them. Is that correct?
Yes, and that'd be +5 to their effectiveness rating.
Now, can my infantry stack with them?
Absolutely. Infantry can stack. Infantry in line
Right.
can stack with artillery that's unlimbered.
Okay.
And so you would have moved 1 movement point to get there in column, and then I'm sure that you've got enough movement points to get into line. Here I am looking for my charts, but of course not able to find the one I'm after. Oh yeah, easily able to get in line, facing to the left. So yeah, so everybody's there. You've got them in the order you want them in. Roll +5 against the topmost unit in the stack, which in this case is the artillery.
Okay. Here we
So
go.
basically, you want to roll.
Yeah,
And
we're
it was closer than
well,
closer
I got a
than
leader
you.
there too, right? So I think the.
Oh, that's
leader's
true.
gonna-
Yeah, so that helps some. So yeah, there you go.
Subtract 4. It looks like. Am I looking at that correctly?
Yep, that's exactly right. So
Okay.
it would have been +1, which means you needed a 22. Better than a 22,
Okay.
which obviously you did. So,
Cool.
all right, very
All
good.
right.
Who else is moving?
These. Oh. Ferguson. No. Let's see what else we want to do. Yeah, because Ferguson's got to stay within 2 of stuff, right?
Well, yeah, but obviously you just had a bunch of guys move forward, so clearly
Yeah.
Ferguson can move.
Again, don't move them there. Move them on the flank here.
I was going to say I sure
Oh,
would.
here like this. Okay.
Right. I mean, other than just getting shot at with some artillery,
Right.
but so what? He's a skirmisher. He's -10. So as he moves here, he would get shot at leaving this hex from this artillery.
Okay.
Let's see. It's 4 increments of artillery at
2
Three.
hexes.
3 hexes because
Oh,
you're
you're
leaving.
right.
You're
That's
leaving
what I
something
need.
3 hexes away, so it's 20. So it's 1 to 1
The
-10 because of your size. So 1 to 1 -10. Very good. And away go the artillery. Boom, we say, and a big whiff. Big whiff. So all right. So you're now in position there on the flank of those guys. Good for you.
Okay.
And you're moving other guys.
I think so. I mean, I moved this guy forward.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where should I put him, David? Should I move him forward another one up here, and then bring this guy up? Or just keep him in reserve, maybe?
Well, my thoughts would be maybe to bring him to here and him also to here there, because
Oh,
he could
okay.
go boom, boom, boom,
Okay.
and he's in line, and these are in line, so that
Okay.
would be four. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 to get the one. You could do all three of them, whatever, into there, or one of them, keep one in reserve.
All right. So he can get there. Is what you're saying.
Right. He will have to do a disorder
Oh,
check
there's
for
three
crossing the
there.
creek.
I will keep one back as a reserve. It's always nice to have reserve, right?
Always good to have a reserve, especially in this, because once you get to close combat, stuff starts going haywire in a hurry. So both of these stacks need to make disorder checks against +5 for crossing the stream.
Okay. So for these chaps here,
Mm-hmm.
31. Oh, that could be bad. They're 24s. So a 29. So they pass.
29, so they're good, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then these chaps here. Fleep, fleep, fleep. They're 24s. Let's see what we get. 75.
Okay. No problem.
Okay. All right. So we got that. All right. And these poor sods up here, these Hessians, they're going to unlimber their guns.
Ooh, now that's an interesting question. Does that generate opportunity fire? Trying to remember.
Seems to think no, but
I know, that's what I was just thinking. Was there something in the regimental guns rules that said that didn't generate it? They count as 0 SPs for stacking. Yeah. Can combine fire. Well, I don't see a particular rule that says that it doesn't prompt opportunity fire.
Okay.
I kind of think it will. That'll be 25 to 20, so it'll be 1 to 1. -5 for target size.
Yep.
So 1 to 1 -5. It's probably not going to be enough to do anything.
Yeah, 65.
No, that's
return fire.
actually it's good enough for a disorder check is what it is good for, because it's opportunity fire. So
you're right.
Disorder check.
Keep looking at the wrong side of that. Okay.
I know, it's easy to do.
All right, we'll roll the dice. 60, we're fine.
Okay, piece of cake, fine. All
Okay,
right.
then these guys need to move up to do something more particular. So they're going to turn. That's 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, and then they can turn that way. That's going to be 4. Well, that's actually
No, that's
keep
4.
remember everything is half.
No, it's not half
Oh,
because
it's
you're in line.
not. Oh, because I'm in line. Okay.
No, you
Okay,
are at
so
4.
that's 4.
You are full up there.
Okay. All right, and then
You got some more guys further back.
I do. So we got these guys, these Brits. We will go ahead, and they're going to go 1, and that's going to be 2, and that's going to be 3, and then they can go into line. That's going to be 4.
Yep,
Okay, cool.
that's for sure. Yep.
All right, and then I got this poor guy who's out of command still, so it's going to be 1,
One half.
Oh, half.
1.5.
Okay, and there's 2.
2. There you go.
All right, and then I need to shuffle my leaders around. So, let's see. I really want this to succeed, so I'm going to throw this guy over here into the mix.
To succeed? I don't understand. What could you possibly want to succeed?
I want to kill you.
Oh, now.
Not you, personally.
Your thank you.
Skirmishers.
Thank goodness.
I want to make things slightly challenging for them. All right, and then we've got, I guess we can move this general here, right?
See any reason why not?
Yeah. I mean, at least he's closer to where the action is. Everything's all higgly-piggly. All right, and then Niephausen can just hang out right here. Everyone's within range of him. All right, and then there's no reason why this guy can't join the fight, so we're going to move him forward. So
you suddenly got the idea, did you?
Well, after losing a whole bunch of people.
2.
Yeah. So we will slowly inch him along.
All right.
Oh, actually,
Very
he can
good.
go. He's in command since he's with his own commander there. So there's.
He was close enough to Niephausen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right, because it's 6 hexes.
It is from
Is
Niephausen. Yes.
Is it as the crow flies?
As the crow flies, yeah.
So,
As long as you don't go through an enemy unit, I think, or an enemy zone of control that's empty. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think I moved everything.
Yep, believe so now, yep.
All right, so I'd want to do a bunch of combat-y things.
Sure, combat-y things, you bet.
So I want to do some combat-y things with this hex and some combat-y things with this hex. And my skirmishers can't do close combat.
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah. Should I do combat-y things here too, David? Or wait until I soften him up a little bit more?
I would definitely consider it, because you got him flanked.
Right.
That gives you pluses. And you've got basically 2 to 1. Well, not quite.
No, not quite 2 to 1, though.
Okay. All right.
It's certainly worth considering, given the fact that I'm going to have a -10 or a +10 against my morale check, which is potentially going to be a problem for me.
Well, let's do these ones here first.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and we'll roll for these chaps.
Right. So some morale checks for those guys.
Morale check summary. Are we on the morale check summary or the morale checks? Oh, no, special results.
Now,
so
are you going to do retreat before combat?
I don't think he can, because I've got him.
No, I think I can. I'm just going to take a step loss as I run away.
Oh, can you? Don't I exert ZOCs? Or
yeah, which is why I'm going to lose a step for every zone of control I move through. Yeah.
So you do that before I roll?
No, you got to roll first.
Okay. All right. So for these...
If you roll badly enough, I just laugh at you.
Well, we've seen that before. Before. So here, these Hessians, let's see what they do. Oh my gosh.
Oh dear. What is that going to be? All right. So that's a special morale check. Special result morale check. What do we got? Pre-close combat is the type, so it's B, and it's British, and it's 5. So if the unit is stacked with a leader, re-roll with a -15 modifier.
Oh.
However, is he?
Yep, he's stacked with a leader.
However, it says you got to make a leader casualty check after the re-roll if one is required as follows. What does that mean after the if a re-roll is required? Okay, so first make a re-roll.
Okay.
with minus 15, which of course makes it. Oh, you did your
So
best
that's
to
going to be
screw
a
that up.
32, right?
Yeah, good job. But now you need to make a leader casualty check. 0-1, the leader is eliminated. 2-9, there is no effect. Subtract 1 from this die roll if the leader is within line of sight and range of enemy infantry unit. Well, he clearly is. So basically, a 0 or a 2 will kill the leader.
Okay, and it's just one die?
Yep.
A 4.
Okay, so he's all good.
All right. He got out there on his
Okay.
horse and waved his sword around and
That's all we really ask
pulled
of him.
these guys. Come on, not again.
Come on.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
And these
So,
chaps.
right.
So do I have to put a marker on them then for?
Yeah, not strictly, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, officially you probably would, but
All
I
right.
never
So
have.
These guys. Time for them
Yep.
to roll. 38.
Okay,
and
38.
their leader-
Again, not very impressive, but good enough.
Well, they came a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So
leader doesn't add anything to it.
after you nice.
Uh,
After you've done attacker morale checks, now we know who it is who's actually, passed their morale check and is able to go in.
right.
So then we would have cavalry charge movement if that was a thing, defender reaction if that was a thing, countercharge if that was a thing. Then we have individual combat designations. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. You need to actually roll for everybody who's attempting to conduct close combat.
So is that every unit that's in the hex?
Every unit in the activation that's planning on conducting close combat needs to roll its attacker morale check before any of the attacks actually get resolved.
So if you're going to attack down here, you've got to roll that.
I got to roll for it now. Is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
So so this is a pre-close combat.
That's right.
It is a B.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm not disordered, shaken, routed. I'm not in general order, march column, attack column, square, hook. So it's just a straight up roll for those.
Yeah, this
guys.
is going to be straight up. I can't see any modifiers that
All
would
right,
apply.
here we go. 78.
Okay, so you're in. Okay, anybody else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay,
I don't have
perfect.
anybody. I mean, these guys are not in the best of shape.
Yeah, it would probably be something you'd want to consider because they would definitely each get a +10.
Yeah.
For being half dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, very good. Well then, clearly the battles are not difficult to figure out. These two are going into him. This one's going into him because those are the only options that even exist.
Right.
So given that, then which one of those two would you care to resolve first?
Let's do this one here first, then I guess.
All right, very good. I know it's going to shock you, but I believe I'm going to retreat before close combat.
Shocking.
So you need to take a morale check B, right?
No, I need to retreat first and then do a morale check D at the end of my retreat movement. So I move 1. Oh, I gotta go find the actual text that deals with that. But I believe I move 1 or 2 hexes, my choice.
Okay, they
one.
do so now instead of making the morale check B.
Exactly. Yeah. So I do 1 or 2 hexes away, and then I have to do a morale check D after the completion of the retreat. So I will retreat 1, and we'll make my morale check D there. And I'm just going to roll it. Not bad.
So are you disordered then?
You can't be disordered, but remember this is a morale check. The outcome
so
of a
he's
morale check would
shaken?
never be disorder. So the units would be shaken. If they were already shaken, they would rout.
Okay.
So we need to make a shaken marker for them. They probably realized just how much trouble they were in when you guys got around the back of them.
Now, did you
So,
also say they lose an increment for the retreat?
let's double check, but they should.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm getting there.
Um,
I'm
it's
looking in there. Close combat.
oh nope. You know what? My bad. I was misconstruing it with route
Route
retreat.
retreat.
20.1b though says that a unit may not retreat before close combat into an enemy zone of control. Ezocs are not negated by friendly units. So actually, I couldn't do it anyway.
Ah, okay.
So let me
So
pull
you're
that
there and you're shaken, I
off.
guess.
At that point, it became a morale check B without being able to run away. So I guess just we'll go ahead and use the same die roll. It'll become morale check B. So this will be interesting because you don't see this terribly often, but we're going to have close combat between formed units and skirmish units. So we'll have to see what those rules look like because that doesn't happen very often. Okay, so let's take a look. Individual combat designation, defender morale checks, retreat before close combat, defensive fire. A reactive unit capable of fire combat that did not perform a reaction or facing formation change may perform defensive fire against an attacking unit or stack in its zone of control. So we would go ahead and do defensive fire now.
Okay.
Defensive fire isn't affected by morale, it's affected by order.
Right.
So it would be ordinary defensive fire. In that sense, I'm facing both of those stacks.
Yep. So pick which one.
Interesting. They're both large enough not to give me a negative effect. So I'll go ahead and shoot at the Brits over here.
Make some widows and Plymouth.
That's really what this is all about.
There you
Is
go.
making other people's wives
Widowing electrons.
into
That's
widows.
Right.
That's right.
Weeping electrons.
That's it. So that's going to be 25 to 20. So again, it's going to be 1 to 1 like it has been so far. No target size modifier, but there is going to be a plus 20 for close combat against defensive fire against infantry. So it's going to be 1 to 1 plus 20.
So that's going to be an 80.
All right.
1 to 1.
So that's going to be enough for one
One hit.
increment off the top unit there.
Okay.
And a disorder check against the stack and a morale check because it was an even number.
Okay. Exciting.
I know, it's the full meal deal.
All right. So it's a disorder check, did you say?
Disorder check first, so you do it in the order there.
Oh,
Well,
23.
I don't think that's going to be enough.
He's got an officer.
No,
Yeah.
the officer is worthless.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He really is. And I don't think those guys are 23, are they? They're 24s, aren't
They're
they?
24s, yeah.
Oh, hey.
Right.
All right,
So
so-
there's the whole stack disorder then?
The stack is disordered because if anybody is, everybody is.
Okay, cool. All right.
All
I'll
right.
find a little shaken but not stirred marker.
Well, I hope it's a disordered marker because we'll determine in a moment if they're shaken.
Morale state. All right, so disorder marker. Good. And then now we roll for the morale as well.
Right, and the morale, of course, is now going to be +5 because you're disordered,
Okay, here we go.
because that is part of the morale check.
56.
Sure,
So
like
they're
you're good?
not shaken,
Okay.
But they're just
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, now let's see. So we're going to go into close combat. Close combat is going to be... So the first things first, how many increments are you bringing in? You've got 9 coming in from
I
up
got
there,
10 and then
10 from there. So 19?
Yep.
Okay,
you're
19 to
5.
5. So that's going to be 3 to 1. So that's a nice number to get. If we want to look at combat values, so each stack is going to have a separate combat value. and you'll average them.
Okay.
So what does that leader do for you, the Hessian leader?
Let's find out. He is a +1. Is that
Okay,
correct?
so
And
yep.
then
X
and
plus
then the
3.
unit itself is a +2, so it's a +3 for that
Good.
stack.
All right. And if we look at the other, oh, I'm sorry, back up a step.
Yep.
Disordered units count for half strength points.
Okay,
So
so
actually,
I've got
you've got
5 plus 9. I've got 14.
14. So it's
So that's gonna
2 to
be
1 now.
oh there's no
Yeah,
two
there
and a
isn't
half
a
to
two
one.
and a half.
Okay,
Right.
so 2 to 1.
Okay. So you got 3 on that one.
Yep.
And then what do you got on the other one? Oh, those guys are both 3s.
Yep.
And the leader's worthless. So it's basically 3 is
Yep.
what I'm seeing, right? Okay.
Correct.
All right. Very good. And my guys are got a couple of things going against them. They are +4 by nature,
Right.
but they are -4 from that because they are skirmish when in clear terrain versus infantry.
Okay.
So they're back to 0, and then -5 for being shaken.
Okay.
So you're +3, I'm -5. That's a difference of 8. And so it's 8 on the 2 to 1 chart.
But also we have you have skirmishers on your flank.
Yeah, you're being outflanked.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You've got a unit there. Let's see. When the unit is not a part of the close combat. Right. So actually it's 11. So basically I'm looking for a 0 to show up.
Okay, so it's a +11 for me.
It is +11. Yeah. The truth is, once somebody gets shaken,
Right.
the die roll modifiers get out of hand in a hurry. And the truth is that's when you often see that close combat consists of somebody just running away.
And I'm rolling 2 dice, is that correct?
You're rolling 2 dice, and we're just going to go ahead and use the left one as yours, the right one is mine, and then 11.
Okay, here we go.
And that's exactly what I wanted.
So it works out to 6.
Well, no, the problem is that it's a special result.
Oh,
And the minute there's a special result, it means that everything goes pear-shaped, as my friends in the UK like to say.
So where?
And here I am desperately looking for the
close combat
chart.
special results. Oh my gosh, this is nasty.
Yes.
So is it 5? So
Yep.
3M2M.
Right.
And a little asterisk.
Right. So the attacker loses 3 increments.
Oh my gosh, that was a terrible roll.
It was a terrible roll.
Here,
It
let me roll
absolutely
that
was.
again.
So what you'll find is that basically 20% of the time
Right.
you get special results in close combat. And the special results, as you see, are completely indifferent to how good your troops are, how good my troops are. What the odds are doesn't matter. None of it matters.
Well, I think we got the same thing when I assaulted
We
your
did.
guns up here.
Yes.
We got this whole
You
bayonet fighting thing there.
I jokingly laughed that what I was looking for is a 0, not expecting I was going to get one, but hoping, and that's
Right.
exactly what happened. So yeah, I mean, this is the best result I could have hoped for.
Yeah.
All right, so 3 increment losses to you. Now you can take them as you wish, and I don't recall that there's any particular rules about allocating them from one hex to the next. I don't think there is.
Just gonna spread the pain.
Close combat special results. 14.2A is where we discuss that. Each side distributes its SP losses as evenly as possible among the participating non-artillery units, starting with the largest SP unit involved. If several units are eligible to take a single SP loss, the owner selects the units.
Yeah.
So that's a little different. We don't do it just on the top unit
right.
of the stack the way you do in fire combat.
Yeah. I've
Oh,
sort
he
of,
So
basically take one from each.
yeah.
I think that's what you would do. Yeah, take one from each.
All right. Well, that was messy. And then what? Now I have to make a morale check. It looks like.
Well, hold on, because actually I need to take an increment loss
two
myself.
You need to
So-
take 2 increment losses.
Oh, no, actually, he hadn't had any until just now.
No, he did have one because he
did have
got
one.
shot
This guy had one. When did this guy get one?
in the fire combat.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I thought
he
perhaps
got
I'd done
shot.
that when
Yeah.
he'd retreated. Okay, all right. So then the next step, where is it? Here we go. So next, you roll for leader loss for all leaders who gave a bonus to the troops. And by the way,
He's
there's
the
an
only one
optional.
who gave a bonus to the troops.
I know, that's the funny thing, is the optional rule says that if you're merely present,
Right.
because it's bullshit that somebody who gives a +0 can't be shot. That doesn't make any sense, right? That's absurd. So that's for all leaders. So it would be for each of them. So basically, you're looking to roll high.
Okay, so we'll go with the German
Seems-
first.
All right.
He's an
Okay,
8,
good-
and then we'll
good
go
roll
for
there.
For the Brit next. He's a 4.
Ooh, just missed. Okay, very good. All right, so now we'll rank all the stacks by effectiveness rating using the morale check G modifiers. Morale check G modifiers, I can tell you right now, the only one that's going to apply is the fact you're disordered and I'm shaken.
So where was the leader loss table that we were looking at?
Oh, well, it's under the Brandywine special results.
Okay.
In the bottom right, where the close combat special results are.
Oh,
Because
it's
there was
there.
an-
Okay. Because I was
Yeah,
looking
because
at
there
the
was
leader loss table that's right next
Exactly.
to it, and I'm like,
I know.
It looks like
I know.
something.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
on
right
the
over there in the
right.
notes to the
Okay,
table. So,
okay.
all right. So your Hessians look like they're going to be a 30 as their effectiveness rating. I think
Okay.
we'd all agree with that, right?
I'll take your word for it. So the leader,
Okay.
yeah. Here we go.
What
Okay.
what kind of morale check is this?
Well, it's going to be morale check G are the modifiers we're going to use.
Well,
But
I rolled
it-
an 11, so I don't know.
Okay,
If that does
But
matter.
wait a minute. You don't roll first.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
yeah, in fact, I'm almost certain to roll before you are. But okay, so now this is an example because the 55th foot is on top. That's the one we're going to use. So you could kind of see how maybe having the 40th foot on top would have been 2% better.
Oh, okay.
Not a big deal, but just something to be aware of. So 24 plus 5. So that stack's going to be 29 is going to be their number. So we had a 30 up above, we had a 29 down below, and then we'll have my guys that we'll take a look at and we'll see what his number is. And we'll go round and round. So he's 22. Let's see. G does not have a lot of modifiers.
At plus 10 for shaken, and you
plus
have
10?
50% losses, so that's plus 10. Plus 20.
Right. I think that's going to be it. So he's a 42 is going to be his number, which means he rolls first.
Oh, is
So-
this what this is all about? I'm like,
Yeah.
Exactly. Now,
Okay.
to be clear,
because I'm like, why are we doing all this stuff instead of just rolling? So,
exactly, you keep on rolling special results, and the process is a little different with special results.
right.
What's a very common result in regular close combat is an MM result. If you look on the close combat table, you'll see a big swath of MM across the middle.
Right. I remember
basically-
this from when you guys were playing Chertuzits.
Exactly.
Right.
Where in that case, it's the attacker has to do a morale check first, then the defender.
Right.
Period. And if the attacker fails, well, then the defender doesn't have to.
Right.
Well, special results are when we actually go in and look at each stack individually and then roll in that order to see what happens. So I will roll 42 as my number. All right. So I pass. Now, the next highest one is the Hessians at 30.
Okay. And they pass.
Okay. And then the British at 29. Okay. Now, that's a morale check special result. So we'll see what that amounts to. It is a morale check. Oh, wait a minute. It's a morale check G. And because it's a morale check G, there are no special results.
So do I roll again?
No. It just means you failed.
Oh, okay. So that's their number. So
Yeah.
Because it's a morale check, then they're shaken, correct?
Yeah, so now they're disordered and shaken, and they are out of the combat. So the next round of combat will just be between the Hessians and the skirmishers.
You mean we're not done yet?
We're not done because close combat in this game always results in someone routing away.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm like.
So
oh,
you'll do
I
as
hear
many
you.
rounds as necessary until somebody breaks and runs.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a different model, but I like it because honestly,
You get a
20
result.
minutes,
Yeah.
20 minutes face to face with somebody trying to kill you, someone's going to run. It's like that's just the reality. Or either that or they're dead.
Right.
Okay.
So we're still at our same thing here, right? So
it's another round of combat. We recalculate the whole thing. You've got how many increments there?
well, do I make
8?
a morale check again?
No.
Yeah, no.
okay.
There's
No.
another
It's
round of
just a-
combat.
Another round of combat.
So we don't have to do the pre-melee morale check. thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's already done. We're thoroughly engaged in the middle of a scrum now.
Okay.
So you've got what, 8?
I've got
8. Okay.
Yeah, I got 8 to your 3. So now
8 to
we're at
3.
3
So
to
it's
1.
actually it's still 2 to 1.
2 to 1.
8 to 3.
Well, 2.5 to 1 if there is.
Oh,
such
There
a-
isn't. There isn't one.
Okay.
So it's 2 to 1. You are at +3. I mean, that's what you were before, right?
No, I got to plus. Yeah, the +2 for the. The leader.
Right. The
adds
unit
1, and
itself, and then the
so
leader
plus
adds
3.
another one.
Yeah.
+3. Okay. This is something we haven't seen before because I don't think it came up before. Look on the close combat card if you would.
Yeah.
A lot of these modifiers change over time.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see that cavalry and enfilade both have an asterisk next to them.
Okay.
They apply only to the first round of close combat. They don't apply to any refights, which is exactly what we're doing right here.
Okay.
And I think there's one under formation that won't apply here, but I'm going to point it out just for future reference. Under line, it says +2 CV for infantry in line defending against cavalry in refights. That is to say, if you survive the first round, you actually have a benefit against cavalry,
Right.
which makes sense, right? Because their impetus is all lost now. But importantly to us is that enfilade does not apply. So I am +4, -5 for being shaken, but I can disregard.
But you're not +4 because you're at 50% losses.
Well done.
Your
So your
CV is
CV
I'm at +2,
Right.
-5, so I'm at -3. The
Right.
enfilade no longer matters, but yes, correct to your point. It is really, I'm at -3, you're at +3, and so 2 to 1 +6 is the result now.
Well, don't we still
So-
have this -4 CV win in clear terrain versus infantry?
Oh, I'm very sorry. Yes, of course we do.
So you should be -7 if I'm adding it up correctly, right?
No, we were at -6. Oh, yes, -7, and then you're at +3.
Right. it
So
should
it's
be a
10.
10. Net
10.
of 10. All right. Well, let's see what exciting rolls we make again.
no special result.
99.
All right, that's a 10. That's the number you wanted. 2 to 1. You'll notice that, of course, in this case, Obviously, the difference between 9 and 9 is 0. So we just apply the plus 10. So we go to plus 10, which turns out to be the very top
Okay.
of the chart. And the result at 2 to 1 is that there is no effect on the attacker, and the defender loses 3 increments and routes, which of course is a moot point because
Right.
the unit is vaporized. Also, yeah, that's it. The unit just gets vaporized.
Well, that was a costly vaporization.
Well, that was not exactly my cunning plan. It would be a little much for me to suggest that was exactly what I had in mind, but I won't argue it. I'm trying to move. There we go. And then this would get deleted. And then I don't know, that unit just won't go away. So I'm just moving it out of the way.
The unit or the
skirmish.
counter?
The counter.
skirmish counter.
It's just there's something weird about the counter. I can't make the
Yeah, they
skirmish
don't have.
marker go away.
I think
So-
you can put it back on the
Exactly. So he can move into that hex. If he's not in an enemy zone of control, which he isn't, then he can adopt his facing in any direction he cares to. Although I don't see any reason in the world why you'd want to change what you're doing already.
Okay.
Um,
All right. And
don't-
then last but
I
not
don't
least,
know what the thing. I don't know what the thing is about the regimental guns. I'm not really a big fan of these regimental guns. I'm kind of willing to just let you bring them with you. Ordinarily, of course, they weren't participating in the close combat, so it doesn't really make any sense that they get to advance after combat. And yet, because of regimental guns, I don't really know what to make of them.
Okay.
I'm
You got to
I'm
get
not.
Matthew to work on this too.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. I hate them. They don't make any sense. They're a lot of extra trouble for no added value, in my view. They ought to just go ahead and integrate them into the main units and just let's get over ourselves. But whatever. Let's just let them advance because I don't care that much. Okay. We've got another battle to do,
Yep. Down here.
right? Okay. So you have done your attacker morale check, so I will do my defender morale check. The defender morale check is going to be with a plus 10 because I got somebody in my flank. Just not lovely, but that's life. Okay, that's good enough. I don't care. So then we'll do defensive fire.
Okay.
Defensive fire is going to be 7 times, 4 probably?
Let's see.
Yeah,
Americans. Yeah,
7
their line
times
troops are
4.
times 4.
So 28. So it's going to be 1 to 1. You're large enough not to have any effect. From a size perspective, I'm going to go ahead and add 20 because it is defensive fire against infantry. So you're coming up close. I'm waiting to see the whites of your eyes, if memory serves. Okay, so that is a 94.
That should be a hit.
I'm rolling pretty well. I am rolling pretty well. 94. Okay, that is still just one hit. Yep, so that comes off of the top unit.
Right.
And then we'll do a disorder check against the stack.
Okay, here we go. Oh, no.
You've got a talent, sir. You've got a talent for this system. That's a disorder check special result. The special result is a defensive fire result is the type. So it's a type E.
Right.
You rolled a 4 on the British column. A 4 is if any defensive fire was from artillery, re-roll with a plus 15 modifier. Otherwise, re-roll with a plus 5 modifier. So
Okay,
plus
so
5 it
it's a plus
is.
5. Here we go. So we should pass.
That should be good enough for that. Okay. All right. And then a morale check.
Oh, something else. How we pass that?
Ah, well, never mind. I don't know what I was thinking.
All right.
All right. Very good.
And so then now we do combat. So I'm getting.
Now we do the close
I
combat,
got
and it's going to be
12. It's just 1-to-1 from the looks of it, right?
well, it's going to be 1.5 to 1
Oh, okay.
because you've got almost half again. Well, you've got almost twice, so 1.5 to 1 it is. You've got +3 as your printed value. I've got +3 as my printed value. There's somebody in my flank, so that's -3 to me.
Okay.
So it's going to be overall, it's going to be +3 to you at 1.5 to 1. So just chuck the dice and see what you get.
Okay. Oh.
Big
So
shot.
Oh,
Big
good
shot.
shot. There you go.
10.
So that's going to be 8 + 3 is going to be 12 or 11, right? So it's off the edge of the chart. So it's the same result as we just saw. It's going to be no effect on the attacker, 3 increment lost, and a rout result for the defender.
Wow, that was a good roll.
Yeah, that was exactly the rolls that you weren't making before.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And this is what you definitely see in this system is that close combat is high stakes poker.
Yeah. Because with the
You-
2 dice, you might think that you've got the advantage, but then, well, I mean, here I rolled a 0 on that 1 that should have been a complete, slam dunk.
Absolutely. And that's the reality is that you can set up the best close combat you want, but once your guys go in, you have no idea what's going to happen. Between the attacker morale checks failing and suddenly an attack not really going off the way you want to special results in the middle, it's total chaos. And, okay. So your guys have to advance. You can, if you choose, elect to change your facing or not. There are good reasons for either choice, because obviously you're either presenting your flank to the guys that are right next to you, which means that you're not as big a threat to them as you would be otherwise, or you're putting your flank to the artillery up on the hill.
Right.
Your choice.
Well, if you turn, like if you're going to counterattack me in the flank, then these guns can shoot at you, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, if I have my flank open to you, then what, you get some pluses when you're shooting at
It
me?
increases the fire multiplier I get to you. Now the interesting part about it is in the base rules actually the increase is pretty small. The increase is actually only a 1 increase to the multiplier. Of course, it's a multiplier would be ×8 right now, so ×9 isn't really that much bigger than ×8 is.
Right.
So there was an optional rule that said you always get 1 column shift, which frankly seems a lot more interesting. But that's fine. We're not going to worry
So, David,
about that.
with your experience, is it better to advance like this, or is it better for me to turn and present myself towards these other infantry?
I think I'd maybe turn towards the infantry.
Okay. We'll do that then. Cool. I think that's
All right
it.
then.
So
Well,
now
that's
I just
the
need
end of
to-
close combat. Let's just flip over any leaders that have activated, which would be all of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I got a leader up there, but he didn't do anything. So he's just the ADC. So, okay, I think that's it. Okay.
All right. I will make a roll.
Good.
Why not?
Oh my
And
God.
I get a special result.
Never a boring moment here. Never a boring moment as you go
Getting
scrambling
a lot of special results.
around looking for a special result chart. Where the heck did this?
Leader initiative. Pick one
Oh, there
command
we
for
go.
a free movement segment only. Initiative required.
Okay. free movement segment only, initiative required. That's interesting. Just one command. Who would I want to do that? Movement segment only. I guess I'm going to go ahead and do Nash. That's this guy here, the North Carolina Brigade up by Dilworth. And if he's like all the rest of my guys, he's probably a 6. Yeah, he's a 6.
Which guy was it?
It's Nash. It's this guy right here. He's just west of the village of Dilworth.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and roll. And he misses anyway. So roll again, David.
All right, rolling. Okay.
Big shot for you guys.
We got another wing.
Have we had anything go over 11? We haven't, have we?
Not yet. No.
Wow. Okay, interesting.
All right. I'm activating everything. Because I got two things to activate up there and that are on the wing and all my independent ones. So
Sounds like a deal.
Well,
right.
I mean, I'll go to the bathroom because I know you're going to be busy moving for half an hour.
Yeah. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. 1, 2. Oops. Three, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Road. And that would be 1. Yep. There.
Have I won yet?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Kind of suspected it was coming.
Well, historically, at least you have.
meaning I haven't lost yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you play, the 1940 campaign in France. It's kind of like, winning is going to look a little different than what you imagine.
Exactly.
I have pieces left on the board, ergo I win, as says the French player.
Well, remember it was like when we were playing that game of what was it, Moscow last year with the whole group online, and it's like, okay, it didn't matter how good the French were going to do, they're still going to, burn Moscow down and have to retreat through the snow. So
that's a good point. It's like, so what? You won.
yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah, congratulations. You won the battle, but in a few years,
That and 50 cents will get you a cup of
exactly,
coffee.
is anybody left alive?
Right.
So
Good point.
Shoot.
we have Steve O watching, who says, Bar is a very tough system to learn. Frankly, I found La Bataille easier to fathom.
I guess it depends on which set of rules you were using.
See, I wrote back, Steve, I agree. I bought my first bar game in the mid-1990s. Couldn't figure out the rules, so never played it. That was Colin. That was their first edition of the rules. So
That's right.
better.
Oh, yeah.
Steve writes back, I have 6 of the games, including this one. Also bought and printed the primer off of Wargame Vault.
There you go.
It's my second attempt learning the system. No luck, unfortunately. Well, Steve, I'm going to suggest that you play a game online with Michael. And he will teach you the game, and you'll actually learn to like it. I'm actually enjoying this game. So
That's it.
I didn't think I'd ever say that about the bar system. I thought, come on, this old-timey La Bat player is
that's right. I mean,
coming over to
if
the
you're
dark side,
saying,
as you say.
that's right. You are totally coming to the dark side because we have donuts.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it is. I don't know. I mean, I've probably said this a million times. I mean, the rules are voluminous, to be
Yeah.
sure. It's also important to remember, though, that, gosh, I bet 50% of them you never look at. Just things like, obscure changes of formation. It's like there's several pages of discussions about formations, and it's like, the truth is, it's like, once you've got the basic ones figured out, all the exotic ones are kind of like, yeah, I'll look them up when I need to.
Yeah.
You don't need to really put any of it to memory, but it does add to the bulk of the rules and makes it seem that much harder to plow through. I was just reading some rules today, and I thought, okay, you know what? When I need to assault a fort, I'll come back and read these rules. But my buffer's starting to get full. I don't want to overflow, so I'll just remember to come back and read that when it's actually important to me. I think I kind of feel that same way around these rules. Knowing where the rules are is also really important, because you're gonna look the rules up from time to time. You can't help it. I do all the time. I've done it tonight. David will agree, because he's heard me do it any number of times in our online games together, that I'll start looking for a rule and I will find it within 10 seconds of looking. Because once you know where to find rules, they are very well organized, that you don't worry about memorizing it. Just as long as you know where it is, you'll find it, and then you'll go, right, that exactly explains what I want. Here we go, and back to the game you go. And that's been my experience with the game.
Well, I actually like this mechanic with the, special die results. I know a lot of people I've read, who've their opinion online, they complain about it.
Yeah.
But I really think it adds a lot of flavor to the game, which would otherwise be very, a certain amount of monotony to it, where you're just kind of marching up and blasting each other. I mean, with La Bataille, you've got the cavalry charges and the grand batteries, and you've got all these other things that tactically give you a whole bunch of different options to do. You don't really have the same sort of tactical choices here, and so therefore, without those special instruction kind of stuff, I would think that the game would be a little flat.
Yeah, well, I think especially these American Revolution games, because in this case, there's either no cavalry at all or very little.
Right.
And so you're right. You kind of have the rock, paper, scissors, but by the way, we don't have a rock.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it does seem a little nothing, doesn't it? Um, but that's a good point. It is, and I like the fact that it means that there are no promises. I counted the hexes between me and the other guys. I know he can't get me before I can get to him. Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Hold my beer.
Yeah.
We are one special result away from something you did not expect to happen.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's kind of fun. Steve writes, I play La Bataille Premier only. Started with Moscow back in 1975. Wow.
oh my
This
gosh!
is,
Wow.
definitely a grognard there. It's the
Yeah.
formation rules in bar that drive me nuts.
Yes.
Yeah, that's I think what turned Robert and I off of it when we bought Colon, because it looks like a La Bataille game. It's got the map, it's got the counters, I mean,
Right.
everything's there, and then you're just like, what? We couldn't figure out, why is it costing 4 to turn this
Exactly.
way and 1 to turn that way, and not
I think
knowing anything about the period per se.
exactly,
You
and
know,
and realizing that the circumstances changed between the 7 Years' War and the Napoleonic era,
yeah, I mean,
where
it's nearly 50 years of 40, at
yeah,
least 40
40.
years
Yeah,
of
I mean,
development.
depending
Yeah.
on exactly which end of it you're at, but you're right. And the truth is having the senior company on the right, kind of suddenly everybody realized that, it would be advantageous if I could convince the troops that that wasn't a big deal. Because then maneuvering gets to be a hell of a lot easier
Well,
if I don't have to keep the senior company on the right.
yeah. And of course, with the French Revolution, what senior company?
Yeah, that's a good point. Exactly.
Just a whole bunch
What
of
was it?
guys. We're all patriots, guys. Let's go.
I told you that I was reading a Civil War infantry tactics book, and I recommended it to you on one of our previous visits here. And occasionally, well, for one thing, they did something that we don't do in this period at all, and that's move by the flank. So imagine you've got all your companies lined up in a two rank line facing north,
Right.
and you suddenly realize, actually, I need to be east of here. You would just tell the guys to turn to the right and start marching. And so they literally are still in the exact same configuration that they were before, but they're marching east now.
Right.
And then you'd stop them and turn them back to the north. And that was apparently in the Civil War an extremely common thing to do. And they would say that in some cases you might find yourself surprised by enemy movement, and you would actually reverse the line. Literally just tell the guys to turn around. So the
About
back
face, yeah.
rank is now the front rank, which again, not something you would have done in this period, but which was something that was done in the Civil War. But they said, truthfully, it was surprising how often that would screw units up. Because in their mind, I'm in the back row. Now
Yeah.
I'm in the front row. That's weird. And so somebody would say left face, and they weren't sure which left they meant. Like, left relative to the way we're supposed to be facing, or left relative to the way we are facing.
Right.
And so you'd have guys looking every which way going, what? It's just like, it's amazing what happens when people are just in line, go do something. You having fun over there, David?
Yeah, I hit the wrong thing and duplicated a bunch of things.
Oh, awesome! So
So
you
now
play
we
just
have.
like me now.
So now we have 5 grenadier units.
Instead of one.
Exactly.
Nice.
That's what you need to hit the duplicate button on.
There you go.
Get
That's
us
the spirit.
lots of those.
Or
Well, Steve writes that he does like the special die results. He thinks they're cool. So
Well, good for you, Steve.
yeah.
I will say that I'm a big fan of chaos in wargame systems, because when I read histories, particularly histories in the pre-radio history of military history, it's it's bad communications, it's chaos, it's unexpected results. It's where is Derlong? Where
Yeah.
didn't I tell him to be here? Right? So to me, a system that gives you complete God's eye control of your units, to me feels like it's missing a really important part of warfare in those times. So to me, special results are part of that. I don't care how much I think I'm in control of what's going on in the game. To a certain degree, the game's having a little fun at my expense, and I love that.
Well, and I certainly enjoyed that. I mean, obviously, I was sitting on the right side of the table the day that we played fixed bayonets, and you couldn't get that one French commander to move off his ass for a whole hour. I mean, that was hilarious. Every time you
And
tried it, it failed. I mean, if you talk about chaos,
absolutely,
it was chaos, pure and
absolutely,
simple.
and we ended up laughing about it,
Oh my
right?
God,
And
yeah.
we ended up, and what the commander in chief moved over
Yep.
and tried to encourage him to get off his ass, and what we ended up joking, because these are two French officers, that they were probably arguing over who'd been sleeping with whose wife, and so we just had a big laugh about it and made up a whole story explaining why this happened, instead of saying, well, that's unreasonable, that would have never happened. Because I'm sorry, if you've read enough histories, you know exactly that that sort of thing happened all the time.
Yeah.
Where was Jackson?
Yeah.
That's the story of the whole seven days battles.
Yeah.
Where's Jackson? I don't know.
Well,
He's
let's
supposed
see.
to be over there.
Steve
Don't know.
Steve pipes in. Fully agree. The Blind Swords ACW system
Yeah,
by Herman Luttman
yeah,
emphasizes chaos, and I love
very
it.
much
Good for
so.
solitaire too. Yeah, yeah. Having surprising stuff in the solitaire game is good. That's why if you do play La Bataille, I solitaire I would play it with the Marie Louise or the Regs rules. You get that random chit pull stuff that
Oh,
causes
right. Yeah,
chaos to stuff.
yeah.
So
The one game that I particularly thought worked well in that blind sword system was, I don't remember the name of it, but it's First Bull Run.
mm,
Oh, because of course, obviously, neither side had the faintest idea what they were doing.
right,
This was the very first battle of the war, right? And so it just feels totally thematic that you just pull a chit and you have no idea what's going to happen next. Obviously, it still applies in the later war, but nevertheless, it really felt right there. But yeah, it's a fun system, and for exactly that kind of reason, because you don't get the God's eye view, you don't have a walkie-talkie, no sat nav, you got nothing,
yeah.
and you
All right,
just kind of
Michael.
Well, it looks like
improvise
you
as
brought
best
your
you
troops
can.
up, David.
Yep.
So
Well, look at that.
Other than that one little artillery piece that's trotting down the road, he must have, some of the wheels on his guns must have broken and they had to repair them or
A
something.
flat spot, that'd be my guess. Yeah. What did you do in the war, Daddy? Well, I almost made it to Brandywine.
Steve says the day was ours by Revolution.
That's the one.
First Bull
The
Run.
day,
Yeah.
the day was ours. Yeah, I think that was. I think it was a Union general saying that the day was ours until the rebels suddenly beat us,
Yeah.
if memory serves. Yeah. Okay. Well then, I think it's my turn to roll for initiative.
Yep.
I think it's your
We've,
good
Right.
roll.
we've
All
only
right.
done 3
All
rolls so
right.
far. Oh,
Oh
3-0.
my God! Here
More
we go,
special
another one.
results.
That's 3 for you. So that is pick a
Ooh.
command for a fire combat or close combat segment. Initiative required.
Okay.
I don't think
Here's
you've had
something
one yet,
exciting.
so I think everyone's eligible. The question is
Who do I
who?
want to shoot?
Yeah, go for it there, Eric, because I don't have
Yeah, you don't
anybody
have
that really
anybody.
can shoot anything. So
So you
Well,
could either do your Hessians, who are all lined up to shoot at those skirmishers, or what I don't know. Oh no, you've got guns in 2 different hexes now, don't you?
yeah, there's guns here and there's guns here.
Ooh, but one of them's a Hessian gun, so
Yeah,
you're
so
not going to be able to
this
fire
guy
them all
looks so I
anyway.
could fire these guys.
You could, yeah.
Yeah, why don't I do that? I'll take a
All
barrel.
right, so
You
then,
can do the others on the skirmishers in front of you. You can do
uh,
all.
right. The thing to remember is Grant's only a
Oh,
4.
right. Oh, you're right.
Grant's only a 4. The Hessian commander's a
It's a
6. So it
Well,
seems like you got
let's do the Hessians then. See if we get lucky.
to.
Oh,
Hey,
that
now,
worked.
look at that.
Okay, so
All
we
right.
can do a lot of firing then, because the Hessian guns can fire.
Yep, yep,
Yep. Okay.
yep.
So they'll
Absolutely.
take a pot shot at you here.
Sure,
So
why
a
not?
range of 2
So
hexes.
it's going to be 32 to 20. So it's going to be 1.5 to 1.
Here we go. Ah,
A special result. Artillery
Boy.
fire combat special result. It's a 0-9 result for the British. Ammo exhausted. Fire has no effect. Firing unit limbers. Morale check J for firer. +5 to the effectiveness rating. Well, that
Okay.
wasn't exactly what you had in mind.
well, machinations of
Okay.
fate, baby.
Absolutely. All right. So first,
then we
yeah,
make a morale check.
make a
74.
morale check with a +5.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Oh,
fine.
yeah, you're fine. Okay. It's interesting. It doesn't actually. Let's just look in 6.4H. I just want to make sure because in Monmouth there were some ones that actually caused you to dislocate. But I'm not sure
I
that
think
that's.
that's if you. Well, if you, no, maybe not. I'm thinking.
See, because he's not stacked with anybody where limbering would be a problem. So I'm not really sure. It's displaced 1 hex to the rear or more to avoid illegal stacking and is placed in a limbered formation. So it does displace it 1 hex to the rear or more to avoid illegal stacking. And I think he's probably going to have to go more than 1 hex.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Why is it illegal? He's in the hex all by himself.
no. Sorry. Let me go back to 6.4H.
Right.
The fire has no effect, which, okay, we've already got through that. The artillery unit is displaced 1 hex to the rear or more hexes to avoid illegal stacking and is placed in limbered formation. The problem is that limbered artillery can't be stacked with line infantry. And unfortunately,
okay,
the
so
2
that's
hexes
what you're talking
behind you, the 2 hexes behind you are both line, so you can't be stacked with them. So you're going to have to go back 2 hexes in order to not be illegally stacked.
So I'm confused. I'm looking at 6.4. It's on page 7.
H.
It says it only goes up to 6.4D, and it's
I'm
talking
sorry,
about attachments.
No. Sorry. We're looking in the game specific rules, in the Brandywine specific rules.
Okay.
So we're on page 12 of the Brandywine specific rules in 6.4H.
Okay. I don't have those handy right now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I was looking at the 3rd edition.
The standard
copy,
rules,
and I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, there's nothing here about that. Okay. So they
Yeah.
got to go back to.
Got to go back to your choice, but and even though they obviously just went that way, you can face them any way you like. So yes, that's a perfectly valid facing right there. So that was a little awkward, but okay, that's life. All right. Now
right.
you got a
So I
couple
got
other
these
stacks
guys.
that can do some shooting.
They'll fire here on those boys.
Okay. What
So
do you
I've
got there? You got
8 plus another, so plus another 16, so
8
24
plus 6 is
there.
24 there. Yep.
And then I've got that's going to
Another
be
8.
32, and then another 12. So that's going to be 44.
So
it's gonna be
2 to 1 looks like.
Yep.
What hex? Yeah.
Yep. Here we go. 69 at 2 to 1.
Okay, so that's going to be a 59 at 2 to 1. And naturally, I've put the chart in the wrong place.
Says 1M.
59 at 2 to 1 is going to be 1M. So there's definitely one increment loss. I'll go ahead and take that here. Because it's a 59, there is no morale check.
Right.
So the one increment is the effect there.
Okay.
So very good.
Right.
And then just because we're going to be really
I'm gonna
clever,
put a little X
you're
on
going to
top
put a
of it.
tile marker on
Yeah,
him. Well
yeah.
played, sir. Very nice. Okay. Let's see. Was that your roll?
That was David's roll, wasn't it? Or maybe it was my roll. I don't know.
It was my
Oh,
roll.
it was your roll.
It was a
Yeah.
it was a 3-0, and it was my roll. So I guess I'll roll again. Okay. Let's see if we can make this happen. We could be here all night, boys. That's a 5 for the British. That's a free disorder recovery phase and rally
Yeah.
phase.
I could use
All right.
that.
Yes, you could. So go for it.
So I got these guys here that are disordered and shaken, right?
All right, so that's going to be, I presume you'll just want to go ahead and activate Grant for that.
Yeah.
This one doesn't require initiative, so you can go ahead and apply it to him if you like.
Okay.
And so disorder recovery, usually the only modifier on it is are you disordered, in which case it's +5. So basically 29 is the number you're after. Oh, and I'm sorry, you've got a leader there, so actually it doesn't matter at all. Yeah,
So the
it's
disorder
automatic.
clears, but then the rally. So then I can rally him as roll for the rally as well, or is it?
That's
just one
right.
rally?
And so 34 is what you're going to need there.
Okay. 45.
Okay, so both of those come off. You didn't even have to wait till the rally phase for that.
Hooray!
Is there anybody else? Was that it?
He
that
was
was
the
it.
only one who was uncooperative.
Very good. Well, uncooperative is what we're all about here. Okay, well done. Very good.
Keep rolling
And-
those. We'll just keep moving and killing
Yeah,
them.
yeah, that's right. I mean, it may be midnight here before too long, but we're going to keep on rolling. All right, there we go. There's an American roll.
And it's you because we've moved everybody.
Well, that's okay. It was an American roll anyway, so it was still going to be me, but that's all right. Okay, well, good times.
And we still haven't moved the end turn.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I guess I will. Well, it's a wing activation, so I guess I can just activate Wayne and get it over with. Wayne is this guy down here. So let's see. All right. So everyone is as in command as they need to be, I guess. No disorder recovery to do. And so we will then move on to fire combat. Looks like the only fire combat is going to be the artillery up here.
Okay.
And they're going to fire, and again, just the way it works, they get +1 because they're enfilading you. +1 to their fire multiplier, which probably makes more sense in a different universe than this. But so it's 4 times 9, which is 36, which actually changes nothing. Again, a little unsatisfying, but it's 1.5 to 1 is what it is.
Okay.
1.5 to 1, no size modifier, so it's just 1.5 to 1.
62 at 1.5 to 1. Looks like it is a 1M.
All right, so that's enough for 1 increment off the top unit.
Okay, those poor sods are taking it.
Mm-hmm.
So you might
Okay.
want to think of swapping the bottom with the top next time you move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. And that doesn't cost anything? Or does
It
it?
has to be done at the beginning of their move, and it doesn't cost anything.
Okay, good to know. All right, and
far
then
as
I
I
need to make a morale
yeah.
check for these guys too.
Morale
Even
check, yep.
number? Okay.
That's right,
Am I
yep.
remembering that correctly?
I think so. Yeah, I think we looked it up in one of the recent games.
Yeah, Massachusetts, we were looking at it.
I think you just went shaken.
Well, let's see. I'm a 24. I don't have a leader. So
Yep.
yeah, they're going to be shaken. Shaken, not stirred.
Shaken, not stirred. Well, there's nothing like a cannonball taking the head off of the guy just next to you to kind of make you rethink your life priorities.
Yeah, it's what it's all about. We're getting those random events.
That's it. That's what it's all
Man,
about.
we are getting a boatload of
We
random.
are. We
Well,
are.
it's payback for like the first 3 turns that nothing happened.
Of nothing at all. Yeah, that's a good point. So I'm going to try something. May not be a good idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. So in the course of movement, I'm going to go ahead and put um, a left hook on this unit here, which means that this guy gets a shot because he made a formation change in front of him.
Okay, and so I'm
And
still firing my normal.
I think you get the luxury of choosing whether you shoot against his orientation before or after the movement. So, in other words, you could fire in his enfilade.
Which would boost me one.
By one.
By
That's
one.
exactly right.
So
Yeah.
instead of
So
being
we're going
times
to.
4, I'd be times 5.
That's right. So it's
So
going to
if I
be
got
6 times 5 is 30.
Yeah, I'd do that. So it's going to be a 1.5 to 1 shot. Correct?
1.5 to 1.
Okay.
Yep, that's right.
Here we go. That's going to be a miss.
Oi! Okay.
And
All right.
the artillery gets a shot too, right?
This artillery here?
Oh, yeah, he's only 2 hexes away, so he could. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So my field artillery is times 8, but there's
Oh my
no
gosh.
flanking things there, right?
That's going to be 64. And maybe I should have rethought this. That's going to be 3 to 1.
Well, come on.
Oh, hold on.
You've seen how I roll.
Hold on. Wait a minute. How many are allowed to fire out of there? Is it 8?
It says artillery 8, maximum SP's firing 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, it's 6 for infantry. All right, yeah, so, knock it out, brother.
All right, here we go.
Oh, looks like I picked a bad day to quit sniffing glue.
So this is opportunity fire.
It's opportunity fire. It's
my
3 to
God,
1.
that is
Yeah.
painful. 3D.
Oh, yeah. 3D M plus 10, and it's an even number.
Yeah, wow.
So, yeah, just shredded them.
Well, now whose head is bouncing across the...
Absolutely. Yeah, I did not properly consider the fact that we were going to have all those guns able to hit too. But you know what? Whatever. All right, so that's 3 increments. Disorder check, and I'll just roll the disorder check. That's good enough. Morale check plus 10. It's actually plus 20 because now I'm half dead. Minus whatever the leader offers. Okay, well, he's fine.
They're really
All right.
motivated.
Yeah. Okay. I think other than that, I didn't really have any elaborate plans for anybody, so we'll just go ahead and leave it at that. I will go ahead and flip the leaders. All right, that was a good time. Who's next for rolling?
That's me, I guess. Here we go.
All right.
52.
52.
Nothing exciting there.
Did Hal move?
Yes.
Yep.
So
All right, so actually I'm at +1 now. The only reason that matters is just because for ties.
right.
All right, so another activation for me. Let's look at this absolute shit show that is my right flank and see who can get organized here. mess. Even just trying to find units. like where's the leader for that unit? I don't know.
Yeah, we need that thing where you click on the leader and it highlights all your.
Boy,
Yeah,
it would
that
be
was-
nice. It would be nice.
That was something I think Tom came up with.
It's genius.
Yeah. He did that for that Aspirin Esling module that we were messing around with.
Well,
Absolutely.
it's not an original idea by him because that's what those um, who are the computer one that he does work on too with it also.
Oh, okay.
It does that. Those,
All right. I guess we'll do the 4th Virginia. That's Scott here.
Great Scott.
Great Scott. All right. So the first problem, of course, is trying to figure out where all the units are that are part of the 4th Virginia. The artillery belongs to them. Of course, the stack he's with. Trying to figure out where the rest of them are. This could be one of them back here.
No,
God
they're
dang
here.
it. Oh, is that them?
Yep.
Okay.
Right. So.
Oh, yeah, quite
Yeah.
so. Okay. Yeah, perfect. All right. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry units. So I think maybe there are some others. Are these 4th Virginia? Yeah, they are. So these guys over here
Yeah.
who are routed are 4th Virginia. And then there's another Virginia unit here, which is the 8th Virginia. That's also 4th Virginia. Okay, so there are a bunch of routed units that are part of it, which is why we can't find the other ones.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, first things first, we'll go through disorder recovery. So this suddenly becomes less disordered. It's merely shaken at this point. The artillery is here. The artillery will just turn around and make itself useful. And these guys are gonna keep running because that's what you do when you're in voluntary route. And those guys can't do anything. This guy is shaken, but really not in a position to move yet. So I'm just going to leave him where he is. So I think that's going to be it for Scott. Flip. All right. Who's next for initiative roll?
I think it's Dave's turn to throw the dice.
now, who did you take the disorder of?
Oh,
took
the
disorder off
the
of
unit stacked under Scott went from shaken and disordered to just shaken.
Okay, and all right, and the 7th Virginia isn't part of that. Or?
No, I think he's part of the 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah, he is. He's part of the 3rd.
All right. Okay. Rolling. Boom. And that's a tie.
That is a tie. So roll that again.
Hey,
All right.
we moved it.
Oh, God dang it. Undo. There. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. So yeah, we move the end turn marker. Woo! Okay. Yeah, I'll probably do the 3rd now. Just because why not? And so the 3rd is Woodford here.
Yep.
Well known of bourbon fame. Thank you. I appreciate your
There you go. Tip
you're
the
enjoying
waitress.
that.
You're here all week.
Absolutely. I'm here all week. Try
There
the
you go.
veal.
There you go.
Okay, let's see. So units include this one here, this one here,
And this one here.
this one here, and that one there. Yeah, you're right. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry units. 1, 2, 3, Well, we've only found 3 of them. Looks like there's another one
Here,
right here that may be part of it. Yes. Yes, there's a routed unit back there parked with those guys. Okay. All right. Well then, let's see. First things first, I guess we need to do disorder recovery. This guy needs to roll for disorder recovery. And he does not. The artillery needs to roll for disorder recovery. And he manages to. And this guy automatically comes off disorder recovery. So he's just merely shaken. Because this guy is disordered, he can't do what I intended to do, which was to do a backup march and get under those guns. Awkward. So I guess he'll just stand there and just hope the British don't show up too soon, but they will. Oh well, that's life. Let's see, this really pathetic artillery unit. Got to get my terrain effects chart. Where is it? Believe that's gonna be what?
it's a gentle slope.
Is that a gentle slope? Here I am struck. Yes, you're right. It must
Yeah.
be a gentle slope. Okay, so that's going to be plus
Plus
one up
going
or
up.
down, it looks like. No, it's
Just
plus
going
1
up.
going up. Okay, all right.
Nothing
So
going
that would
down,
be
just
that'd be 1, 2 to go there is what it
Mhm.
looks like then. Okay, all right. Well then, plus 3 then I guess is the best he's going to be able to do. All right, that's life. This guy is shaken, but I guess I will advance him. I guess I will advance him down the hill a little bit. Okay. And like I said, this guy's in the awkward position of not really being able to move very well. I would have liked to, but life goes on. So I think that's going to be it because all the rest of them are routed and I'm going to need to wait for them to rally before I can get anything good out of them. So I will go ahead and flip the leader, and that's going to be it for that one. And I think it's my turn to roll again. Is that right?
Yep.
yeah.
All right. Very good. Oh, another move of the end turn marker. And
And that's to you.
that is to me. And then I guess I'm going to go ahead and try to do Nash again, the North Carolina boys here. And I mean, the truth is, I haven't even been worrying about things like being in command, but there, he's not in command, so he can't rapid march.
Mm.
So what? And I think what I'll do is I will do 1 and 1, 2, and then I'll just prolong these guys forward 1. And I think that's going to be it for them. See how much faster I am at this than you guys are?
Yeah.
Tell you what. Eric.
Roll, Eric.
Oh, my turn. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
No special result this
No
time.
special results, guy. We suddenly hit a dry spell. What are we going to do?
I'm sure.
All right. So we've got New Jersey Brigade over here, which has that 2nd Maryland who's associated with them. That's my left flank. All those guys. And then there's the 3rd Pennsylvania. And the 3rd Pennsylvania includes... Okay. Where is the... Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the 3rd Pennsylvania. It's this guy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right. So, do I need to move those guys? Yes, I am going to move those guys. Those guys are routing. All right, I'll just move these guys just that much and leave them. But in the meantime, actually, I need to do disorder recovery for these guys up here.
Looks like that's good.
They are undisordered and just back to shaken at the moment. And I think that's all of his guys, if I'm not mistaken. They're all kind of back in that neck of the woods there.
There should be
So that
four of them.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. No. There's got to be more than 4 of them.
It looks like there's 5.
Yeah, there are 5.
Yeah, they're 5 on the order of battle. So yeah, that should be it. Okay. All right. So they're done. David? Roll for initiative.
Boom.
I could do a wing activation if I wanted to. I don't, but if I did want to, I could. It'd be something. Trying to decide what to do with this New Jersey brigade. No, I think I've figured out where. All right, the New Jersey brigade consists of just 2 units, but then the 2nd Maryland has 1 unit with it. So I think maybe all of them are right over here on the road by Nan Webster's house, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. All right. I think I will just move these guys a little bit and call that good. And then the rally phase, we'll worry about trying to get them more organized. So I think that's it. So it's back to me.
Oh, that's yours.
Doesn't move the... Let's see. I'm starting to run out of guys around here, aren't I?
You got guys down on the road.
Right, and I think that may be it, because I think I've done everybody over there on the right flank.
Yep.
Because I've done the 3rd and 4th Virginia, I've done the New Jersey, I've done the 3rd Pennsylvania, and I've done the North Carolina. So yeah, I think all those guys are gone. So I think it's just the guys on the road now.
Yeah, so it's Whedon and then Green, I guess. Or Muhlenberg.
Muhlenberg and Whedon.
Yep.
Part of Green's wing. That's right. So... All right, well then we will do Whedon, because he's the guy in the front of the queue, so it seems to make sense to let him go first. And this is this is all major road, isn't it? So it's 6 per movement point, so it's a lot.
6 per half.
No, it's 3 per half.
3 per half. Oh,
yeah, 3 per half.
Right.
Yeah, 6 for 1 movement point.
It's still a ton.
Yeah.
I like where you're thinking, but no. All right, so that's half. That's 1. It's 1.5. That's 2. That's 2.5. That's 3. 3.5 and 4. That's a good time. I mean, there is some refacing required, but you get the idea. All right. And we'll just line up everybody else behind him, and then I'll reface them at my leisure. And is the 10th Virginia.
Yeah, they're part of the 2nd Virginia, right? And that's who
Um,
Whedon's with.
10th is Whedon.
Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't taking one too many. There we go. And oh, because they were small enough to fit in one hex, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I was confused because only the artillery actually have um,
A
an
road
extension
extent.
marker behind them. The rest of them don't need one. Okay, that makes sense. And okay, not what I meant. As ever, not what I meant. It's my story, and I'm sticking. God dang it!
Look at them dancing
It's
around
like
out there.
dancing counters.
Dancing rebels.
Yeah, they are
Yeah,
synchronized. Synchronized
that
swimming. This
is
is synchronized
synchronized
facing
rebels.
changes.
Genius. All right, and then the 9th Virginia is there, and the 9th Virginia is part of Muhlenberg's outfit, so that's a different organization, totally different.
All right, time for me to roll. Here we go.
Yep.
Now,
All right,
that's gonna
and we will
move
advance the
Move
end
it.
turn marker one more time. We're actually not going to reach the end of the end turn marker here.
We're
It's very
not.
strange.
'Cause you're
Um,
moving your last one, right?
I think I am because I think everybody else is gone.
Yeah.
Gonna move George this turn yet? Or
I thought about it. I hadn't really quite decided what I want to do there. Um, yeah, I probably will. All right. Well, we got to activate Muhlenberg, so I need to take a few minutes and figure out what I'm doing with Muhlenberg. Because he's in road column. And let's see, he's got 1, 2. Okay, so he's got, boy, only like 2 hexes worth of infantry and then an artillery piece. Not a very big outfit, but that's life.
you're only supposed to have 4.
Well, but
Oh, 2 hexes. Okay.
yeah, because really
Right.
they're pretty small units, so they
Okay.
don't really amount to a whole lot.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out where I want to go. So he's on the road and he's facing that away. So if he moves here, he has spent half a movement point. And just trying to work through exactly what it is I need to do here.
Mhm.
Road to march column is just 1 movement point plus whatever the change is. So if he goes to march column from here, then he's at 1.5. And if he goes up that,
What hex side are you gonna face? Yeah.
oh, well, of course, he'd be facing that hex side because that's the one he would be facing. So it's 1.5. That'd be, actually, that'd be 4.5 if he turns.
Yeah, that's right. You got yours is 2.
Yeah, because mine are crap. So then I have to decide if that's really worth doing. Actually, I tell you what, I will leave him in road column 1 more hex, so he's now spent 1 movement point. Let's just call it 1 movement point. 2 movement points, he's in march column, and he's facing that way. And then And then I find that I can never find the chart I want.
What maneuver is he trying to do?
He's trying to go back into line facing
Facing, I guess,
to,
towards the
to,
Brits.
to,
Yeah.
to his... Well, in that case, actually, he'd be facing to his right. So it would actually cost him...
The right is...
It would cost him 3.
So if you face...
So it'd be 5 if he was...
that way, that would be 3. Only cost 1.
Yeah, but that's not what I intend to do. So so he's going to go that way.
Oh.
And that's 5. So he's rapid marched to do that. So we will roll a rapid march disorder check on him. And we have a special result because, you know, that's how we roll. Movement action 06. If the unit's printed effectiveness rating is 26 plus, re-roll with a plus 10 modifier, otherwise re-roll with no modifier. No, he is a 28, so plus 10. So we'll re-roll with a plus 10. And he is disordered. All right, good times. So let's try it again with these guys and see what we can do. That's going to be half of a movement point. It's going to be 1.5 movement points. But it's going to be 3.5 movement points to face the direction he's facing. And then to go up the hill is going to cost him an extra half because he's in column. That's going to be 4.5 to get there. So he's also been rapid marching. But he's okay. All right. The artillery. That's half. That's, call it 1. And then we're going to spend 2 more to go out of road march. 1 to get out of road march and 1 to suck up the extra hex. So he's now spent 1, 2, 3. So he's done. And then these guys will march forward. That's going to be 1 and a little. And I think I will just leave them in road column. And let's see, we'll put Woodford on top of that guy, so we'll get him out of disorder next turn. And then the question is, where do we put Green? Which half of his wing does he go with? It's half. That's 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4. 4.5, 5. Let's just do that. Let's go ahead and move Washington. He's seen enough. He knows that we're crushing the Hessians and grinding them up.
That is true. All too true.
So he spends a half to get here. And another half will get him there. So that's 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. Hi, boys. 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8. Whoops. So he's here with Green. And I think that's it for them, right? So then the only other things that, if I were smart, I would want to do is I think I'll move Lafayette over to try to help that unit. And I think that's it. Is there anything I missed?
Nope.
Okay. So we are now finished with all activations. So it's time for rally
Now you do have
phase.
Stefan over here that you might want to also help for recovery. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Where's
Yeah.
he?
He's one of your wing.
Good point. Good point. Actually, I think I'm okay with where he is
Okay.
because those guys are going to try to get out of
Voluntary
out of voluntary route if they can. So yeah,
Okay.
I think I'll just leave them there. I mean, they may be too close to the enemy, but you know what? Whatever. Right. So I'm just going to chuck dice just to see who does their rally phase first. Not that it matters. Oh, look, I do it first. So we deal with shaken units first, always. And so I'll just start up in the north. That looks like the first one that looks shaken to me. Shaken units always have a +10 to recover from shaken. Woodford's there, so it's really just going to be a +4. So he is back to ready to rock and roll. Let's see, there's another shaken unit right behind him here. Looks like that one's going to be +6 in this case. And there is no special result on rally efforts. You just missed.
Right.
So he missed. All right. And then we've got the guns here who are shaken, and they're going to be +20 because they're half dead and shaken. That's probably not going to be enough for them. Yeah. So not enough there. So we'll hit these guys here. They're going to be +15 because they're both shaken and disordered. No dice. Boy, these guys are bound and determined to get effed up here. All right. Let's see. Who else is shaken? We got these guys back here, the Pennsylvania boys. Let's see what we get with them. They're just at +10. Wow, some hot dice.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got that going for me, which is nice. Okay, shaken units. That may be all the ones over on the right. In fact, that may be all the ones at all, because I don't think I have any on the left, do I?
I think you got something that's routed.
Yeah, I got one routed, but I think that is it. Okay, so we'll deal with routed units next. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Let's see, routed units. All right, I guess I will start here with this one over here. Ooh, we ought to take a look and see how big a unit he is. Yeah, so he's half dead. Even with only one increment loss, he's half dead. So he is going to be +25, +15 for being routed, and +10 more for being half dead. So he's looking at 53. However, that is enough. So he assumes any legal 1 hex formation and is now shaken and disordered. Okay. And nobody else up here. This guy's routed here, and he has the option to come out of route, but I think I'm going to work some of these other guys first. I'm going to do this one next. This one's also going to be, well, I think it's also going to be 53. Let me make sure he is half dead. No, he's not half dead, so he's only +15, so 43 minus whatever Lafayette provides.
39.
39. All right, let's see what we get here. All right, so he's back. So we will twist him round this way, and we'll mark him as shaken and disordered. We'll flip him back over so he doesn't show as routed. We're going to try real hard to get his loss marker facing the correct direction. Well done, Michael. Excellent. Now the 15th Virginia here. Let's see what we got here. Both of those units I'm going to flip over because I want to see if he's half dead. He's not half dead. In fact, he's not half dead at all. So he's just going to be at plus 15, minus 6, so plus 9. Let's see what we get there.
37.
Not a chance. So he is going to lose an increment because he didn't even make the 28 of his printed value,
Yep.
and he's going to keep on routing. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 because he's headed 4 because he's headed down that way. All right, good times. We'll try these fellas here next. They are
voluntary route.
They are voluntary route, and they are electing to try to come back out. They're at plus 15 minus 3, so plus 12.
Each one
Oh
is
my
that one
gosh.
where each one's is individual?
Yeah, you got to roll them individual. That's a good point. So these guys route away. Whoops, how did I do that? The skill I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to put the marker there and then move him. And oh no, but he's now routed, so I flip him over.
Yep.
There we go. All right, now the other unit, also plus 12, actually makes it. So we'll go ahead and flip him around so, and put him in shaken and disordered. And I will flip the leader around with him. And then this other one is going to be, the one next to them is going to be at plus 15.
Oh my God.
Wow. Wow. I got mad skills. So he flips over, being fully routed. He's going to lose an increment. And he's going to run that away. All right, so I'm going to keep pushing my luck because you know what? It don't pay not to. So we'll try this guy who's currently voluntarily routed. He's plus 15.
Could be.
Betcha that's going to be enough.
Yep.
Yep.
So he's all right. So we'll orient him accordingly. There we go. And move the route marker off him. All right. And we'll do the same thing with these guys here. And let's see, there's no damage to any of them, and Steven provides a minus 4, so they're going to be at plus 11. Top one, I'm sure he's fine. The bottom one, expect that's fine too at plus 11. Yep. All right. So I actually was able to roll my way out of a damp paper bag for a change. That was pretty nice. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that instead. Shaken and disordered, and then put the commander back on there. Alrighty. Delete those. Let's see. Then we got all the New Jersey Brigade back here. I haven't missed anybody else, have I? I think that's it.
Yep. You're
All
on
right.
schedule.
We'll start with these guys here. So they're going to be at +9, I expect. Yep, +9.
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable. I mean, that is some amazingly bad die rolling. Oh, there we go. All right, next is going to be +15. It has been truly a random number generator here, hasn't it?
Indeed.
There we go. And then the last one here is going to be +15 minus whatever the leader offers us, which is, so it's going to be +11.
Yep, they hit their number, but
Looks
not enough.
looks like he doesn't lose an increment for his trouble, but he still runs away. 1, 2, 3, 4. The leader goes with him, and wow, that was spectacular, gotta say. And then I got one routed unit down here in the south that I need to deal with. He is, I think, not quite half dead. He was 7 increments, and so he's just +15. He, on the other hand, unlike some of those cheese balls who are apparently still out of breath, he is ready to stay in the fight.
He's feeling very confident.
That's what we're all about here. I think that's it for my guys. I think
Okay.
they've either done what they were going to do, or they clearly were not going to do whatever they were supposed to do. And
one chap. Which
you got anybody?
This guy, he's the shaken.
Oh, right. No, absolutely.
So, and being shaken is +15 or +10?
No, it's +10.
Plus
+10. Yeah.
Oh
my gosh. Yeah, it's kind of hard to argue with that. Okay. Yeah, the kind of the way that it's easy for me to remember it is it's +5 for being disordered. It's +10 for being shaken. It's +15 for being shaken and disordered, or for being routed.
Okay.
So it's just, you kind of stair stack them in your mind, and it kind of, that helps me remember it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that looks pretty good. So I think we've made it all the way to the end of the 6:40 turn.
Yeah.
It'll be 7 o'clock at the top of the hour. We will have a little bit of accounting to do at the top of the hour, because there'll be an army morale check, and something tells me that there's probably been enough to cause one or both of us to have to do some rolling.
I do believe so.
I'm going to hit the end turn marker and flip over all the leaders. Looks like somebody's already gotten rid of the tile spacer.
Yep.
Well done. And all right, so I think where we are is we've got the Hessians fully engaged with the American left wing, and paying dearly. And the Americans are setting up an ambush down near Crapster's Hill.
There you go.
And then bringing up some more forces to reinforce the absolute shit show that is the attempt at stopping the voluntary route near Dilworth. Just in time to have the British left flank come around and come running into guys which are not yet ready for them. Oh boy.
Yeah, this is a tough one. This is a tough one for the Americans, because I guess if you'd left some guys up there at Meeting House, there as like a speed bump, you could always voluntarily route them, or do they have to? Can they not do that if they're in an EZOC? Or can they always voluntarily route?
Pretty much always voluntarily route.
I think you can,
okay.
And I don't know if you'd get an opportunity shot as you tried to leave. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look it up, but
not according to the route rules.
Okay.
Yeah, so that might be the
It's a
thing to
fair
do
point.
to put them there, force the British to kind of
Just
deploy.
right.
Meanwhile, your other guys are running towards Dilworth, and then that gives you a couple of turns to maybe get them all back in some semblance of order.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
they would have been there 2 turns earlier
yeah, yeah,
if we'd been doing the voluntary route rules the way we'd meant to, or the way we should have, I guess.
yeah,
But you're right. I mean, another way to do that is just kind of have somebody up there. I mean, the only trouble with having somebody up on Meeting House Hill is that then they could get flanked by the grenadiers and the guard, because until all the Americans are at
oh yeah, you're
48
right.
or south, then I've got those guys to deal with. And honestly, I mean, I think I think what I did probably wasn't wrong. I
Yeah,
just wasn't able to get away fast enough.
yeah,
Um, Obviously, what I probably should have done is started a turn earlier to make sure that I didn't lose all the artillery that I ended up losing um, up there on Meeting House Road.
right.
Um, you know, okay, that's fair. Um, but I feel like just anytime you can get rid of a bunch of enemy units and all it cost you is retreating, I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, right? And then just try to find some place that you can set up a defense
Right.
and just try to hold the enemy for a while. And then, like I said, I kind of felt like, and I still don't feel too bad about it for all that. I mean, I've had a couple of good battles here against the Hessians, but the British appear to be able to have made of sterner stuff than the Hessians. They've certainly done better. But I'm figuring
Well, that's
if we
because
could just,
The British have gotten paid. That the
oh,
Hessians haven't gotten paid yet.
we're
So
waiting until the
yeah,
battle's over before we pay
yeah,
them.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they're
But I'm thinking
expendable.
if I could just stall you for a while there and then set up another line at that very narrow space there, Crapster's Hill,
Yeah,
then, I mean, you're not going to get to Painter's Crossroads in 2 hours.
no,
There's no way you're going to, right?
no.
That's kind of my game there, is I just want to hold open my line of communication. Um, so it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all, but I don't know. It's going okay. Now the trouble is when the army morale starts to kick in,
Right.
and then that's when things get ugly. Ask David.
Oh yeah. Well, I was there when the whole thing ended on an army morale roll there.
Yeah, where
So the
holy
spirit of the
smokes.
revenge of the special die roll
That's
there.
right, exactly. Yeah, when you're at plus 24 or something like that, it's like that's certainly how I ended a Battle of Fontenoy when I just realized that